Let's start with this, and I want you to be honest. At this point, your feelings towards me, hate or strong dislike?
Well, it went from extreme hate back, a couple years ago when we met in spring training, but now it's only mild dislike.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
I'm so happy for you, brother. You know that. You're killing it this year, man. I'm proud of you.
What has this been like for you, watching it from afar? And obviously, you're doing so much MLB stuff, so taking in the full league view of it. How fun has that been to watch this Mets run?
It's been neat. I mean, just being around a lot of these guys. Obviously, the newer guys that came over the deadline, I don't know, but I think like you, we've talked, we've texted, and beginning of July, did we ever see anything like this happening?
No.
I think it's been fun to see him just kind of turn into a team. I always thought that Terry did a great job. I really did, and he got some pieces, and he got guys back with Wright and Darno coming back. So that's been cool. And I'm just really happy. I'm happy for David. You know what he's like to be around. You know what a pro he is, and he sets the tone. And heck, he was rehabbing out by me in South Bay in L.A. And he didn't know if he was going to come back.
4.5 months.
So I think for him to come back, the big hit he had, against L.A., his emotion when he got to first base, I feel good. I'm happy for him.
You were covering this team for 8 years leading up to this. Are you surprised with how quickly this has come together? Obviously, they got the influx with the new guys, but see this young pitching come up and perform the way they have immediately like this.
Yeah, I'm not surprised in that, and I guess, because the last year when we split time, you and I doing it, that, you kind of saw it could be there. Obviously, if Harvey could come back healthy, that was a big if. But, with Syndergaard, what you saw, even in the minors, and when you saw him in spring training, you're like, okay, you could see it working. But I think the way it's come together in such dominant form, I mean, those guys haven't hit a roadblock. They've just been plowing through in it. And I think the other thing is, we saw obviously DeGrom, what he did. We knew Harvey, if he was healthy, he would be okay. But just the secondary command from Syndergaard, from Matz, has been just terrific.
Kev, I know you mentioned that we texted throughout the season. I remember you saying Daniel Murphy's going to go on a historic run in the playoffs like this. Great call.
Exactly. I did. I mean, this is come on. I mean, it's crazy. He's turned himself into a different hitter in terms of pulling the baseball this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, 7 home runs in 9 games. He had 14 all year.
It's unbelievable, right? I mean, it's remarkable.
What's he been like to be around?
I mean, he's loving every second of this.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen. The one thing with Murph, and this, you try and ask him about him, and he brings everybody into the conversation, deflecting praise all around.
Right.
So this has been fun to try and pull some praise from himself out of him, for himself out of him. But it's been, remarkable.
I think I saw one of your interviews after the games when I was watching the post game. One of the games I was off from Fox, and you asked him, whatever it was, the home run, and he said, "Well, great pitching job," and then David at third base, and also even though Tejada didn't play, the magic from the cane.
So, Kev, you have a prediction here?
Boy, it's so hard. We were talking about in the car ride over, with Frank Thomas and Pete Rose and Ibanez and those guys, and I really can see it going either way. I'd be surprised if it's a short series. I mean, I really think one of the keys is the Mets defense, and it's been good. But they're going to be tested here, just with that speed. They put pressure on you. So I think that's going to be a factor. And I think, look, the young guys keep doing it. They're obviously well past where they thought they would go innings-wise and things like that. But they keep pitching like that. It's hard to see them losing. So Kansas City, extremely resilient. They're so good late. They're so good runners in scoring position. And it's still all about the pitching. I don't think Murphy's going to hit 6 home runs in a row. But I think someone else can easily step up and do it. So I have no idea, man. I mean, if you asked me prediction in July, I wouldn't have got it right. So I think it's going to be at least 6 or 7 games.
Excited to be at Citi Field?
Yes. Yeah, that's an understatement. It's funny. You probably saw that tweet that I put out like a year ago. I didn't even remember sending it.
Yeah.
Just said, it'd be cool to be back in a year. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for doing it.
It's great to see you, brother.
Appreciate it, brother.